0845 957 0057. It's BBC Southern Counties Radio, the late Saturday show with myself, and it's Alison. John Robinson has emailed. Greetings, great to hear you again. I've listened to you for many years on many radio stations, more than I care to remember. Your work is great. You can find music on the radio anytime, but good chat like yours is hard to find. Keep up the good work. This is how I remember Southern Counties. Love to Astra. It's Alison, John, but I'll call her Astra, and he is emailing us from Wargrave in Berkshire. Alan is our next caller from Hastings. Good evening, Alan.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm still fine, thank you.
Yeah, you never cut anybody off. No?
No, not even if they're dull.
No. So you say, oh, I've got to go, there's a queue. And when you rip the shit out of the women and the blokes, you cut off. Now, I know we're on radio and everything else like that, but how about a challenge? Would you like a challenge?
No.
Why not?
What's in it for me?
Your job.
It won't be.
It will be.
It won't be.
I mean, most of the people, I listen to Southern Counties radio.
So what's the challenge then?
Well,
I don't want it, but tell me what it is.
Why don't you want it?
What's in it for me?
You usually answer
What's in it? What's in it for me?
Wait a minute, you're butting in. You usually...
I'm asking a question, you're not answering it.
No, I've asked a question.
I've asked the question several times and you can't answer it because you haven't thought this out. Go away and think it out. Right, get a piece of paper. Have you got any paper at home?
I've got a pen and I've got a piece of paper.
Well, you think your challenge out, write it down and say what's in it for me.
The challenge is...
Oh, you're going to tell me now?
Well, if you stop butting in, I'll tell you it. Yeah?
What's in it for me?
Bearing in mind that you don't butt in.
What's in it for me?
What's in it for the rest of the listeners?
What's in it for me?
Your job. What, like I said before.
That's not in it for me.
I repeat myself.
Yeah, but that's not in it for me. That's not in it.
Why are you repeating yourself?
I'm not repeating myself. I'm telling you, do you want to know why I'm repeating myself?
No.
Because you're not very good at listening.
No, you're not very good at listening.
I'm fantastic at listening.
That is why you answer a question with a question.
What's in it for me?
There you go. See? You've answered it again.
You haven't answered the question.
Now, can we get on with it? Right? Challenge.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. What about if everybody...
No, I'm not interested in your challenge. I'm not interested in your challenge until you tell me why I should do it.
Because
that's how humanity works.
No.
If you say to somebody, how about this, you have to have considered why they should want to do it. So you tell me why I should want to take your challenge. And if your answer is any good, you will know, I will know, the listeners will know, the callers will know, and I will do it. On the other hand, if it's dull, ill thought out, crass, monosyllabic, then I won't take the challenge.
It's monosyllabic, not monosyllabic.
No, it's monosyllabic.
No, monosyllabic.
Monosyllabic.
You keep butting in, but you never butt in. So
monosyllabic.
Why are you butting in?
It's monosyllabic.
But you keep butting in. Why don't you let me finish?
Because you asked me if I wanted to take a challenge, and I said no, but you're insisting on offering it.
No.
So that's not communicating, is it?
No.
If you ask me if I want to take a challenge, and I say no, that's the end of it.
Oh, I see. Well,
thank you. I'm glad you see.
Well, I've got the address, and I'll presume other listeners. Are you listening?
I'd love you to say something.
Yeah. Well, I'll presume that other listeners on Southern Counties Radio will write in and complain.
All right, well, let me explain what you're trying to say. Okay, what you're trying to say is you snuck on air and you've made it.
No.
You're one of the... I'll finish.
I'll butt it in, sorry.
You've snuck on air... and you know who you're talking to, the little cabal of people who you think you're one of, and you think you don't like what I do, although the truth is that you do, because I know you better than you do, and you hope that you can get your message out, like some sort of little French resistance worker who goes down into the cellar with his little... It's 1942, and you are the resistance. And you've managed to get your little message out that a battalion of Tommy Boyds are heading south. So bomb them. Well, Alan, go ahead. Waste your time. Waste other people's time. You will not have your way, and why should you? Who are you?
Well, can I speak now?
Only if it shows a level of engagement with what I've said.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's a reason for that. And there's a reason for that.
wait a minute. I just said to you, can I speak now?
Well, and what did I say?
You said yes, and then you started butting in again.
No, I didn't say yes, did I? I said maybe. You said, can I speak now? And I said something else, and you didn't even hear it. What was it I said?
Pass.
You didn't hear it, did you?
No, because it was in your mind.
No, it was actually coming out of my mouth in the form of words, beautiful words, well-crafted words, which represent good ideas. What I said was, yes, you can say something only if it betrays some sort of engagement with what you've just heard. That's conversation, Al.
But you're not my school teacher.
Yes, I am, Alan. Possibly the first one you've ever had who actually cares about you.
Not really.
Even at this stage in your passage through this world. I might be the first school teacher you've ever had who cares about you.
Well, can I have a word now?
Only if it shows some level of engagement with what you've just heard. That's conversation.
So what precise point are you going to cut me off? Because bearing in mind that you don't cut me off.
What you've just said bears no relation to what you've just heard. This, therefore, is a... Have you ever heard of Harold Pinter?
Yes.
Have you read The Caretaker?
No.
In The Caretaker, Harold Pinter for the first time reveals the fact that there are an awful lot of people who don't actually engage in conversation, but merely say the thing that's in their mind when the other person has finished talking. This is a lonely way to live.
No, you finished.
I've got a huge queue, Alan.
Yeah, there you go. There's a cut-off point.
Lovely talking to you, but I've got to let other people on. How can I can't let you have the whole evening. It's like you're in the bar. You can't stand at the bar talking to the barman all night long. You have to let the barman do the rest of his work.
So you wouldn't accept the challenge then?
No, because you didn't tell me what was in it for me. You didn't sell it to me.
I did, but
no, you didn't.
You're a coward.
No,
Bye.
Goodbye. That's Alan gone. Excellent. Choosing to go. Fine, super. 08459 570057. We'll have Simon and Garfunkel very shortly. This is the Late Saturday Show on BBC Southern Counties Radio with myself, Tommy Boyd. We've got another email from the Lady Mary, who's keen on her piece of wisdom. My reason for asking for the address to complain about Tommy Boyd had nothing to do with the wisdom issue, of which I still strongly stand by what I have said. Many people called and emailed supporting what I said, and no one wrote to say that Tommy Boyd's revisionist wisdom... revisionist. Ali, I've missed Ali. We've got a very solid switchboard, so keep ringing if you're calling, that's fine, was the correct version. But back to the issue, I wish to complain about Tommy Boyd's endorsement of drinking urine on the radio. Can you imagine what effect this would have on naive children listening? I will forego the complaint if you tell your younger listeners that urine is poisonous. Oh, Mary. Oh, Mary. Oh, poor old Mary. Oh.
You get straight through to this programme.
Yes,
hello.
That was the idea, but we've had a technical. Who's there?
Yeah, the amount of times you've been plugging, phone up and giving the telephone number out, you do get through straight away. You don't have a queue of people on the phone, do you, waiting to get through to you?
No.
When you look at some of the other programmes, when you take half an hour to try and get through, they're obviously a damn sight more popular than what your programme is. Don't you read anything by that, Tommy? How much people dislike you?
Here we go. What's your name, then?
Well, don't worry about that. But why don't you just go off the air and make way for someone who broadcasts a decent programme?
Such as? Like what sort of things?
Well, the other chap who's on most of the week, Paul Miller, is damn sight more entertaining, isn't he?
No. You see...
Well, he is. He is.
Do you mind...
We don't need you telling me the answer.
You're being you're a very rude man.
Yeah, of course you are, but you're going to let me say
man.
this, because otherwise you'll have to chop me off, won't you?
Well, I won't do that.
Right? No, you won't do that.
I'll tell you what I will do. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have a conversation with you if you've got the balls.
Well...
Have you got the balls?
I expect I have, but I don't want a conversation with you because
why not?
you're such a bloody
you're a rude
boring
man.
prat.
You're a rude man.
I would rather talk to
you're
someone
a very,
who's got a
very,
little bit
very
more to
rude
offer.
man. You've got nothing to
I'm
offer.
going to sit there and say
stupid,
you're a very, very
you're
boring man. You're a very, very boring man.
nasty
Which
piece
is
of
all you
work.
say to
Dreadful
people who you
human
don't
being.
like.
I've never called anybody boring except you.
You are. You're constantly
You're
saying
boring.
it to people.
You've got
Anyone
nothing
you don't
to
like,
say.
you say you're boring, you don't know what
Oi.
you're talking about.
Can I tell you something?
Can't say that.
Do you want to know something? Do you want to know
Go
something?
off the air.
Do you want to know something?
And make some
do you want to know something?
People will ring up.
Do you want to know something?
No, I probably know more than you, but
I bet you don't.
I know everything.
Go on then, what's the best book you've ever read then?
What? Books? Is that all you know about?
What's the best book you've ever read?
I've probably read more books than you have.
Name one.
I'm not going to bother with
Name
you. You're
one.
a waste of space.
Go on, you're going to go now because you're a coward and I've won. He won. Yes! Dear me. And the thing is, I want to tell him, and he's listening now, because he never stops listening. What he doesn't realise is, right, that is what 90% of the people who like this programme want to hear.
Yeah.
You know?
Why they won't have a conversation with you?
Because they can't, because they know they're going to lose. Because I'm better than they are.
But they must know then that that's how it comes across, and that they should... Oh, I don't know.
No, but the deal is, what I said the deal is, which is that I won't cut anybody off, and I'll let everybody have their say, but you've got to try and have a conversation.
Yeah.
You can't think that you can just, come on, deliver a stream of insults.
Just be rude and not back it up.
Yeah, and then go. That's poor.
Yeah.
That's very poor. So when somebody fails to engage, then I feel it's reasonable to just give them, you know, a broadside back. And if they then can't take it, can't have a conversation, can't answer a simple question, you know, can't say what it is that they want, don't understand why it is that they find intelligent nothingness irritating, can't identify that in themselves, then they're going to get a broadside back. Simple as that. It's good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.